everyone, welcome back. Christian Shreve, bestboxingbets.com. You know, the European circuit is something that needs to be addressed independently. Let's go over briefly the career arc of, say, the British or German fighters as they make their way to the epoch of the game, which, you know, when it started it was England, but it quickly became the United States of America, where it has stayed ever since. Now, usually when you get a fighter who comes over, let's say, a British heavyweight, most of them fall quickly. You know, they may be dominant, they may be able to win Lonsdale belts, they may be able to do well in their own country, but traditionally they fall short. You know, they benefited greatly from getting a Jamaican-born Canadian over there named Lennox Lewis. They had a strong guy who for a second legitimately held the number one spot in the heavyweight division, Frank Bruno. They also have an unbelievable puncher named David Haye, who's moved up from cruiserweight. Tyson Fury may even be a world beater. But traditionally, what you're going to get are people who establish themselves, but don't really stay at the elite level, but they get a reputation and then they go home. Now, when they go home, if there's good marketing behind them, they can be a viable commodity. A European champion in Europe can be a very viable commodity. When you are looking at these wages, what you have to ask yourself, well, let's give an example. Arthur Abraham. The last bit of Bernard Hopkins' middleweight reign and Jermaine Taylor's reign completely has an asterisk by it. Legitimately it does, because Felix Sturm was there from Germany. You also had Arthur Abraham, and until those guys were beaten, there was no middleweight champion. They'd gone on for a while saying, hey, I beat Felix Trinidad, I've made all these defenses, but those two guys were there, and until they were beaten, after about 2 years, you don't have a champion anymore if that guy hasn't been handled. That's why at featherweight now nobody can be over Indonesia's Chris John. There is no real champion no matter what you do until that guy goes down. So you have Arthur Abraham, and he moves up to super middleweight. He'll fight about 3 or 4 rounds. He'll throw about 1/5 the punches of a good American opponent, and he hits hard, but not devastatingly hard at that division. I consider him a world-class fighter, but I think that he will at some point or another find a way to lose at the elite level. But he goes home. He just had a fight a few days ago. There was a stadium full of people to see him fight. And they're going to put him against third-tier opposition, regarding him as second-tier talent. And he's just signed with another promoter. So what you're going to get are these outrageous odds, 600, 700, 800, 1500. And you say, well, you know, that's ridiculous. But you ask yourself a couple of things. And one of them that you ask yourself is this guy who's gone back home washed up? If he isn't, is he durable? If you have those two, and a promotional house is backing the guy, he can fill a stadium, he's not going to lose a decision. And these are where you get these incredible odd-bending, I was recently, somebody said, you're a troll, you can't put that much money on somebody like this, and you get, well, it's the right market, right place, right time. If you get a European guy who comes over, doesn't quite make it, goes home, has a following, he's durable, and they're putting him in with obscure names, he's going to win. He's going to win 99% out of 100. The exception to that was Felix Sturm and Sam Sullivan from Australia, who outworked the comebacking Sturm. But those don't happen every year. They don't happen every other year. They don't happen every 3 years. That's a very rare thing. So, you know, look at these outrageous bets in Europe and say, well, I know who this guy is. He has a solid promoter out there, and all you need to know is that it's a main event out there. It's a big event. It's a stadium event. That tells you there's a big promoter, because there's not going to be one without a big promoter anywhere. and I've never heard of the other guy. You can pull him up on YouTube. He's probably decent. The local boy is going to win the decision. And if you are spending $100 to win 7, to win 3, that's a fair rate of return for an investment that's out for 24, 48, 72 hours. And so that's what we talk about when we say free money. And a gambler will never understand that. But to us, it's like money fell on the ground, you pick it up. If someone say, that's just a 20, that's just a 50, I won't pick anything up unless it excites me. It's got to be 100, it has to be 1,000. Well, those are your tendencies. I will take reliable all the time. And so that's where you get these odds where somebody says, well, you're taking the prohibitive favorite. Yes, and I'm doing it deliberately as well. And you should too, under these situations. So, you're not going to do that with Audley Harrelson. You're not going to do that with the big Brit, who I guess is making another comeback. Because at this point, he will go down not just from when a shot hits him, but the wind from a shot that misses him will knock him down at this point. He's not durable. But if they're durable, if they're known to be durable, if they can last the distance, they're going to win the decision almost all the time. It's free money. Think about it. Think about it. Let me know what you think. Christian Shreve, bestboxingbets.com. I'm Christian Shreve, and I'm here to tell you about why I think you should own my new book, Money Boxing, which is on sale now. Money Boxing has something for everyone, whether or not you know anything about boxing. You're about to receive a backstage pass into a world of glamour, corruption, and intrigue. And you're going to learn about the system, which is the only thing the casinos have had to fear in a long time. You can own Money Boxing by clicking on the link below now. I think you'll like it.